So continuing the previous video, at the end of the video, I did say some things that make a mistake. So when we compare the t-value, negative 2.14, with our value here. So let me write down. So from step 2, we got t-value which is negative 2.14. But our step 3 is different from the previous two cases. So this is case 1, when we have one side mu is less than 200. I also added this case. In the textbook, they only did this case less than. If it's greater than, and the graph will be slightly different. But if it's mu not equal to 200, and you will have two ends. But when you compare case 1, case 2, when you do these two questions, the process is pretty much similar. Even the t-value is the same. One of them is negative 1.833. We compare our value to that negative 1.833. But for the right side, we just compare our value to the positive 1.833. Apparently, it's not greater than that. Okay, so for two ends, which we have two cutoff t-values. One is negative, the other is positive. So let's put a negative 2.14. It's a little bit on the right, to the right of negative 2.262. So as you can see, this number does not fall in either of the regions. Not here, not here. So which means we cannot reject H0, which means we cannot support H1. So in this case, you can say since. So when we compare, you don't really have to compare to the positive, because it's not going to be a negative number. Is not going to be able to be greater than 2.262. So you can just compare this value to the negative. Or otherwise, you have to show the graph, say negative 2.14 does not fall in these two rejection regions. So you can just say negative 2.14 is not less than negative 2.262. You can also mention the other one, and negative 2.14 is not greater than 2.262. Because to fall in this region, it has to be greater than this number, which is not possible. To fall in this region, it has to be smaller than this negative number, which is not the case either. So we can say we cannot support H1. The tip is, in order to support H1, if it's less than, then the t-value we got from step 2 has to be less than the cutoff t-value. If it's greater than, and the t-value we got has to be greater than the cutoff t-value. But in this case, it's not greater than. That's why we cannot support H1. Similarly, for not equal case, our t-value could either be greater than the positive cutoff t-value or the negative cutoff t-value. We got two cutoff t-values. One of them is positive, the other is negative. And if it falls in any one of these regions, then you will support H1. But in this case, our value does not fall in any of the two regions. That's why we cannot support H1.